Hello, welcome back to the Eternal October podcast. This is episode 22.
22 episodes already? Damn.
Yep. I'm James.
I'm Lauren.
Yeah, and we've been gone a couple weeks. That's
2 weeks in already.
That's my fault. All these podcasts missing days. It's all right. We get around to it. Anyway, we do it.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're doing Lauren's idea.
So today I thought it'd be a cool little idea to rank, cuz over here we love to do tier lists. So I figured why not rank horror tropes? We all have something that when we watch a horror movie that we get kind of annoyed with or anything like that. So I figured why the hell not rank those and see what loses and what wins.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Tropes kind of have a negative connotation just by nature. Because you want to see something unique, usually something original.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this will turn out. I don't know if there are any tropes that I love, but I guess we'll see.
I wouldn't really say this is actually a list of horror tropes I love.
Then there we go.
So yeah, these aren't really horror tropes that I love. Yeah. These are the bad ones that I get annoyed with, or hell, I guess whoever's listening to this may also get annoyed with when watching horror movies. So, yeah.
Don't speak too soon. We might like some of them.
No, I don't.
You don't?
These are the
Then why would we do a tier list?
I mean,
they're all going to be bad?
Yeah.
What?
I figured we'd rank the bad ones.
So they all belong in F.
If you want to end the episode like that, sure.
No, I think we have to discuss it.
Well, yeah, obviously, duh.
There could be an S tier trope. Who knows?
Depending.
We'll
I
see.
came up with 20 of tropes, so yeah.
So let's see.
Did you just want me to go however, or?
Yeah, you got the list.
Okay. I guess we can start it off with the first one. The first horror trope is the killer isn't dead.
The killer isn't dead.
Yeah, the killer isn't
we're talking
dead.
about when the killer dies, and then there's a sequel, and the killer's back.
Yeah. So that goes for all horror movies for the most part.
So the trope itself is pretty annoying. Especially with series that try and pull like this is the last one for real. Because then you can tell they really have to pull it out of their ass for like how the killer survived.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think this has probably been successful to varying degrees. Mostly it's annoying.
Yeah.
I can't think of right off the top of my head, I can't think of a great way to bring back a killer or a movie that has done it in a great way. I'm sure if I sat and thought about it for a while, I could come up with an example or two, but
I'm trying to think too, but I
know it's been done in a way where I've been like, oh wow, that's actually clever.
Yeah.
But usually it's like, this is fucking stupid.
The one that comes to mind that, hell, like some of like horror franchises that I really love, like, yeah, the killer isn't dead, but like the one that kind of like my mind's going to at the moment right now is like Jason. how many times that fucker died in his own movies and they had to keep bringing him back in new quote unquote creative ways. Like the one, like, yeah, one of my personal favorites out of the series, at least, like Jason Leaves. He gets no, not reincarnated, but resurrected like Frankenstein.
Jason Lives.
Yeah.
You said Jason Leaves. That's funny.
I thought I said Jason Lives.
It's on tape.
Okay,
But
well,
it's funny.
boy should have left.
That should have been one. Jason Leaves.
Jason Leaves, yeah.
We don't record the tape.
Oh my god.
That's just a side point. But Jason is actually the poster child of this.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
He wasn't even in the first movie. Why?
Nope.
Why? Because he was dead.
Because he was dead.
Yeah. So why would he be in the first movie? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So they kind of like, kicked it off in the second one by being like, you know what? He's not dead.
He has a sack on his head.
Yeah, he's here. he's around.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just ran with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's easier to think of terrible examples than good examples. Infamously, I think like probably the worst one that stands out in my mind is H2O to Halloween 8.
Oh, yeah.
That despite remembering very little of each of those Halloween movies, it's hard to forget how abysmal that sequence was at the end of 7 and the beginning of 8.
Yep. That's always the one thing that always bothered me because, like, yeah, I guess, yeah, another one, Michael Myers, boy. Oh, well, hell, not even just in, what is it? In 8, fucking, they were doing that even before that when, he dies in the fire in 2, and then he gets brought back in, 4.
In my opinion, nothing's as bad as the
But
one
yeah,
from
nothing
7
is
to
as
8.
bad as 8 though, that's for sure. Because in H2O, they fucking do such a brilliant job at literally killing him. Yeah, Laurie fucking chops his head off. And then
Aren't they just like, oh, it wasn't actually him?
Yeah, no. Yeah, they do that. They pull that in
Terrible.
8. They like the movie starts and then they give us like, kind of like a flashback to what we saw at the end of H2O. Like, oh yeah, Michael, that was the driver of the vehicle. Michael planned all that shit. He was, yeah, like I forget the actual like name for the person, but like the person who like brings the dead bodies to the place. Like Michael like choked him and everything like that and put the mask on him and he escaped from the back door, and then that's why we see like in H2O why he's reaching out his hand was basically just being like, yo, Laurie, like it's not Michael, it's like it's me, just an innocent person. And like the reason it's like, okay, well, why didn't he say anything then? Because Michael choked him so bad his vocal cords like were sore, so he couldn't speak. It's basically the rundown that they give us in like everything like that. It's so stupid.
They did the worst job of bringing back a character ever.
Yeah, so bad.
Just in service of like one of the worst movies.
Honestly.
It's
Trick
so
or treat,
funny.
motherfucker.
Yeah. It's a bad trope. There's again, like, I swear there's been at least one time that I remember thinking that's a clever way to do that. But it's super uncommon.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know where to. It's hard because most of these are probably not going to be great, but so I don't want to start too low.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My heart says D.
D?
Yeah.
I was thinking like C or D.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine.
Killer isn't dead.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was Scream. I think Scream does it well because it's never the same people.
Well, yeah.
So there's actually a reason Ghostface can keep coming back.
Yeah, because it's not the same. It's not like, one person. Yeah, it's multiple. It's different people each movie.
Killer don't die.
Even though, like, the stereotypical thing, like, yeah, there's like been boyfriends and friends that have been like Ghostface, but like
Yeah,
the person itself is always different.
Yeah, which like Scream gives itself a great excuse to bring back the character of Ghostface.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be the one that I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an exception to the rule.
Yep. Let's do another one. I'm looking.
You can just go in order.
Oh, go in order? Okay.
It's probably easy.
Yeah, probably. A dream. It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. I gotta blow the load early. It's an F. It's the worst. Like,
Wait, did you say you gotta blow the load?
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
There's like nothing worse than getting to the end of the movie and it was all a dream. And
And there's been countless.
they realize that because no one does it anymore.
Movie wise?
Yeah.
Movie wise, yeah, no. I've seen in TV shows they kind of do that, but
because
yeah.
like it very quickly became like the biggest cop out, worst shit you could ever do.
No, it is definitely.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know why, but when I was younger, I kind of liked it. I kind of did when I was younger.
Yeah, I never liked it.
Why? I don't know, and I can't explain why I did. I just remember watching one movie and they did that, like, oh, it was all a dream. And I'm like, oh, you know what? That makes sense. That's actually good.
I think when you're a kid and you see it for the first time, it's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like it's the first time you've seen that and you didn't expect it, and you're like, that's genius. And then you like grow up and you're like, that's actually the biggest cop out.
That's what really happened as I got older. I'm like, wait, this is so stupid. Doesn't make any sense. How is it a dream?
So F.
Yeah.
I think it's F.
Honestly, I don't disagree with that because, yeah, that is literally the biggest fucking cop out ever. That shit pisses me off now. So I'm glad that movies really don't, movies now, they don't really do that because they know that audiences fucking hate it, and it's the worst thing you can do to your movie.
It's pretty bad.
Yep. Okay, so the third one I have is unconvinced authority.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess elaborate, because I think I know what you mean.
Well, what do you think?
Are you talking about when a character can't convince like the police that something happened, or they can't convince their friend or someone important and pivotal in the story, they can't convince them that whatever is happening is happening?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
See, this is awful. I guess I got spoiled before we ever talk about it again. This is one of the biggest things that annoys me about The Exorcist, because most of that movie is they're trying to convince the one guy that shit is happening, and he keeps being like, no.
The priest.
No, nothing's happening.
I forget his name,
She's just
but
sick.
the other priest, not Father Marin.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know we'll end up talking about that movie again at some point, but that's after rewatching it recently, it's a big stain on that movie. Is
Interesting.
that this is such a big plot point of it, is just trying to convince this guy that it's happening. And it is a very annoying trope.
Okay, well, I'm not
Because
gonna
it's like, okay, if X person just listened
Yeah.
the fucking first time and like took the situation seriously, then like there's no movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you have the trope.
Yeah. Well, I won't.
Just don't write it in. Just find other ways to pad your time out.
Yeah. I guess I won't go too much on with the Exorcist one because eventually we'll talk about that. But I find that interesting that on your more so recent watch that bothered you. I can see why, but I guess for me, I kind of that trope in particular in The Exorcist doesn't bother me as much as compared to like other horror movies or anywhere else that trope plays in. But no, that trope in particular is kind of annoying because you'll see that person being like, there's this killer that's trying to chase me, or so and so is back, da 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 da, and then like the people there or whoever just looks at them like they're like fucking stupid or something, and they're going in full detail on like explaining like what's happening and everything, and they're still like nah, like totally negate them and just ignore them, or just ignores whatever's happening.
Yeah, I mean the classic trope is that they report something to the police, and the police are like, "God, come on, you're telling me there's a ghost?"
Oh, dude, the amount of time, like fucking what is it? One that's coming to my head right now is what's his face? The doctor. Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. I'm gonna from Halloween.
Loomis.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so bad at But yeah, Dr. Loomis, he like in Halloween 4, he's like telling the officers in Haddonfield like, "Oh, Michael's back" and everything like that, and the cops like don't believe him cuz like they just think he's like a crazy old madman who's obsessed with Michael Myers. It's like, "Okay, dude, like you were his doctor in 79, like get over it." Like, yeah. And then like what, like 2 minutes go by and then they get a call saying that they see Michael like in the street or some shit like that. They see him in a house or something like that, and then they just look at Dr. Loomis and they're like, "Oh shit, like he was right."
Yeah. This one is definitely annoying.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like it'd be easy for all these to end up really low on this list, unless we purposely become more nuanced in our approach.
Yeah.
Like try to find the best of the worst, I guess.
That's kind of what this list I kind of made, like trying to see like, these are kind of like all bad, I guess, but like we can choose which one is kind of the better one compared to like the other one, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's as bad as the other two.
Mm-hmm. It's an annoying trope, but I don't find it's not the worst of the worst, in my opinion.
It's yeah, I mean it's definitely annoying, but it's kind of a padding.
Mm-hmm.
Where the dream thing like invalidates the whole movie.
Yeah.
And the killer not being dead is just like an excuse to make movies that don't need to exist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a movie as popular and successful as The Exorcist that relies pretty heavily on this trope. So I don't know. It
Mhm.
can't be. It can't be the worst thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking C.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Move up
C.
a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how this will look at the end, but we gotta try to.
Sounds like you're not having great hopes,
We gotta
James.
try and see it as it's not as bad as these other ones.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I
What's
say the
next?
list gets pretty I don't know, pretty fun, pretty interesting.
All right. What's next?
The next one is have sex and die.
Uh. Yeah. It's fine. I guess it's better than the other ones so far. It's like, yeah, it makes the movie predictable, but honestly, I think a lot of people watch horror movies for this
Mhm.
to watch people fuck and then get killed.
I love it actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like I enjoy it.
I mean, it's a whole genre.
Well, yeah, it is. I don't know. I've always since I was a kid getting into horror, I've always found it so funny. Just like, yeah, you see these people, they're having sex, and then like next thing you know, they get their fucking head chopped off. Like, I love that.
Yeah, it's
Going out with a bang. Literally.
yeah. I mean, it's less like it's less of a lazy writing device than these other ones. It's more just like, yeah, it's a trope, but it's one that people tend to kind of appreciate in a way. So
Yeah.
on this list, it's probably up there. Like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, because it's something people actually can appreciate.
Yeah.
People like that genre of like schlocky horror movie.
Well, yeah, and then
It's just like most of these are annoying things, and that's
that's a fun one, yeah.
people are like, oh, titties and then death. Yay.
I feel like, yeah, kind of like the 80s slasher, yeah, we get like these girls like with boobies and all that, and then nudity, they're fucking, and then yeah, they're gone. No, they did.
I don't know. Should we like leave room? Should we put it in the A tier?
I was thinking A, but I didn't think you were gonna want to go up that high.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna get better than this. That's the thing.
Yeah, probably.
That's why I said like I don't know. For this tier list, it might be an S tier. I don't know.
Oh,
But
you want to go S?
I just don't. I want there to be something in every category. I feel like when there's not something in each category, it's more of our failure because we weren't nuanced enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, you're placing
It
them.
really depends
so-
if there's something that's like there has to be like a trope that's actually kind of good to get better than this, I think. And I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm down to leave some room. I'm down to put it in A
I'm fine with A.
and then hope that something comes up that's a little better.
Yeah.
Have sex and die. Okay. What's up? What's next?
Next is the final girl.
Well, there you go. It's another trope that people really quite like. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I don't think it's again. It's a genre.
Yeah.
It's people.
It's a trope and a genre within itself. Yeah.
It's people getting picked off one by one, and then there's one person left. And when it's a girl, then it's called Final Girl.
I mean, there are final boys, but I mean that's very slim. It's mostly final girls.
Yeah, the
but,
trope
yeah.
is the final girl because they decide it's scarier to have girls being killed by these monsters. Uh, yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's something that is loved and embraced. That's probably an S, right? That might be the only one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, we've talked, I feel like, at length about Final Girls, so
We did. We did a whole
yeah, we did a whole episode about that.
a
But
long one. Yeah,
yeah.
people like it.
I love
It's appreciated.
I love the Final Girl. I don't really have any issues, and I don't you don't really have any issues with the Final Girl either. I mean, yeah, it's a trope that everyone, I feel like everyone loves when it comes to like watching horror movies and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
So
you
there
want
you
to
go. You found it.
you're going to put it in S tier?
I don't think it'll get better than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's actually like a trope that people like.
Mhm.
I'm relatively indifferent to it, but that's going to be for most of these. I'm either going to hate them or be indifferent.
Okay.
So there we go. But yeah, I'm trying to consider what people think in general.
Yeah.
And that's quite a appreciated trope. So there you have it. What else?
This one should be quite fun to talk about. This one's our favorite. Unhinged woman, aka unhinged baddie.
Yeah, I hate it. I do. But it's really what's in right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably an easy S tier for a lot of people. It's like easily.
Yeah, a lot of people
It's
would put this
easily,
one at
like,
S.
It's
Yeah.
easily like the genre of choice right now for people. I see it as a very lazy trope, personally.
Mhm.
I don't think I've liked. I don't think I've. I'm trying to think if there are any, but
I know for me there are a couple of, I guess, I don't know. I can't think of the movies right now, but I know that there are like not a lot, but a few, I'd say probably like 3 movies where it kind of plays on the unhinged woman, aka unhinged baddie, that I do enjoy. But that's not because of the trope alone. That's just because of the movie itself. But how I feel, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm in the I mean, I'm there with you, and I'm also in the middle with it. So
well, for me the problem is that it relies on you, like, I don't know, like being obsessed with the character for being unhinged. I don't know. It doesn't track for me because if I see a character doing something shitty,
yeah,
then I think they're unlikable. And
an example.
and like these movies, and that gets fine to have an unlikable character.
Mhm.
Of course it is. And it can be an unlikable character can be a good character.
Yeah.
But when you're kind of hinging on me being in love with like a character that's a shitty person, and you're not really doing anything else,
Mhm.
I think it's really weak. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you there. Yeah, I think what like an example that kind of comes to mind is like what Pearl.
Yeah,
like-
I don't get it.
Yeah, that I feel like that would be kind of a good example of like, I guess, what X Pearl, and I guess now coming in July, Maxine. And yeah, those ones are kind of like right now are like with the unhinged baddie. They play on that trope for sure. And a lot of people love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think her character's like annoying and pathetic, and I think like that's the point of it.
Mhm.
But it's also in this like post-ironic lens of like, because she's pathetic, she's actually unhinged and a baddie. I don't, I don't know.
Or at least with how the trope kind of like makes it play out. It's like we see this unhinged, or I guess you want to say like mad woman, and you know, yeah, they're a shitty thing, but like the movie itself kind of wraps around and being like, no, like they're in the right. Kind of, at least with how it kind
it
of
wants you to root for them.
yeah, it wants you like kind of like yeah, another movie we've talked at length too with this trope is Midsummer.
And like, if you want me to root for a bad character, then I have to be able to see their point. I have to be able to see their side.
Yeah.
And I don't see Pearl's side. She just wants to be a star.
She just wants, yeah.
And
I was
like,
just gonna say that.
I'm just like, oh, what an annoying fucking like
I'm a
character.
star.
Yeah, I don't. Shh. Cool.
It's like, no, girl, you're not a star because you fucking sucked at doing that audition. That's why they didn't want you.
Yeah. And then of course they like whatever, they humanize her with like talking about her shitty relationship and whatever.
Yeah.
But like her goal is still just to be a star. And I'm like, I don't like.
Well, I mean,
they're completely different threads to me. Like,
well, I mean,
one does not make me sympathize with the other.
Yeah, I mean, at least with Pearl, I mean, yeah, like the whole she's trying to become a star, and then when she doesn't get the audition, she realizes like she gives up on her dream. Like that one audition, she doesn't ever try to go to any other audition, and she like gives up on that and just decides to live out the shitty life that earlier when you're watching the movie that she complains about, that she doesn't want to live this life. She doesn't want to be married to her husband, who she really doesn't love, and who she cheats on, by the way, with some movie person who gets her the audition. And like she ends up like kind of almost having, yeah, she ends up having feelings for the guy because they end up hooking up and whatever. And then she kills him because he realizes like, oh yeah, like this bitch is fucking insane. And yeah, so she, after her losing that audition, she just figures she'll stay in this stupid, hopeless marriage and like with this husband that she doesn't even love. She'll just stick it out just because she didn't become the star that she wanted. And so, I don't know.
I don't even remember the whole thing with her husband. Like,
yeah, well, no, she talks about how she, I mean, like back then, like arranged marriages and stuff like that.
Is he shitty just because he wasn't around, or did he actually like do anything?
Well, I mean, not, I guess I wouldn't say, I guess that's my fault. I shouldn't say shitty husband because like we don't really see him in the movie except like we see him show up at the end. But like,
I don't remember what she says.
I remember her just, if I remember correctly, she just complains about how she's in this marriage who like, yeah, she loves him and stuff, but she's not in love with him. And like, I forget the time period that the movie takes place in, but I know it's during the time where arranged marriages were kind of like a thing where your parents would
pick out. I thought it was like the 20s, but I don't.
Yeah, or something like that. But I know back then it was arranged marriages were a thing, and like where the family would pick out like, oh, this will be your husband kind of thing or stuff, something like that. But yeah, she explains like she doesn't really love her husband and stuff like that. She's not. Yeah, she cares for him and stuff, but she's not in love with him.
1918. Okay, just before the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, cause I don't remember.
I do.
Was her husband like?
Well, in the movie, he was out to war. He was.
Yeah, but was he like a cheater or like an abuser?
I do remember a point where she was kind of annoyed that he just took the opportunity to go to war without him discussing it with her. That was something she did mention as well. Like he didn't really have a sit down of like discussing like, oh, should I like, kind of just having that discussion, and she was just kind of hurt by it that he didn't ask her.
So if he didn't do anything particularly heinous, then I'm not going to be on this girl's side when she cheats on him.
Well, yeah, no, I wasn't for that either, because I'm just like, damn, girl, okay. And he's out fighting for the country while you're like fucking around.
Same with Midsummer.
And fucking a scarecrow.
Same with Midsummer, when that shit happens to her boyfriend, who I can understand the perspective of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like see her as like queen. I'm just like, that guy's getting R-worded.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing that, I mean, yeah, we've talked about Midsummer and talked about this a lot. And that's just something that I will never understand, because even still to this day, the conversation will float around on film Twitter, and like they'll always ask like, oh yeah, did the boyfriend deserve to die? And I always see everyone saying yes. And I think that's crazy and insane, because yeah, the boyfriend wasn't the best, obviously. And we see that in the movie. Like, he didn't really take Danny's feelings in consideration, all of that. Like, you can tell that they were both, weren't really good. And you can tell the relationship was in a very stagnant place. And then on top of that, Danny's parents die and just all of that. So he feels like he doesn't want to break up with her because, like, yeah, that's kind of that is a shitty move. Her parents die and you're going to break up with her? Like, no.
I think where the movie picks up, he did take her feelings into consideration.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, because he was gonna break up with her around that time, he decides not to, because he realizes, like, yeah, that's a shitty thing to fucking do. So he still decides to be with her.
It's shitty either way. It's a rock and a hard place. Yeah, which is why I understand his perspective.
Mm-hmm. Same.
What I don't understand is the perspective that he deserves.
Yeah, that's something that won't make sense, because like we see that in the movie, like, and then especially when they go to the, I don't know, not the retreat, but they go to the cult, because that's what it is. They go to this place where there's a cult, and he's still kind of being dickish to Danny and stuff, and whatever. But then at the same time, I feel like, from what we see later on in the film, I don't think because of how he like acts and stuff, that doesn't it shouldn't be resulted in people cheering for him getting raped and then him dying because of that, because of his previous actions. Because don't get me wrong, I didn't really like his character all that much, but when I was watching the movie, I felt really bad for him, because I don't think he deserved to die. I thought that was so fucked up. And I still see people saying like, oh yeah, he deserved it and all this. And I'm just like, what is this? Because if this was reversed, if it was a man getting a woman drugged and he raped her, it would be a whole fucking different conversation. Let's just say that. And the movie would be perceived differently.
Yeah,
and that's for a damn fucking fact.
I feel like people would say if that happened, people would say there's nothing her character could have done to deserve that.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
That was on a long topic, but yeah.
I personally hate the trope, and it clearly is a trope a lot of people like, and it's killing it right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oof. I feel like you want to put it in F.
I mean, I hate it.
I love that. I hate it.
But I'm trying to consider, beyond myself. And people really like it.
Well, they don't have a podcast, so they're not here.
Well, I'm also trying to consider if there's a movie where I do like it.
I know there are, like I said earlier, I know that there are a few movies that I do love that have the trope, but not. I wouldn't say it's like more so. These movies are like in recent.
I've heard Hard Candy is good. I haven't seen that.
Hard Candy, yes.
I don't know if that's
Elliot Page.
Yeah, I don't know if that is.
Yeah, see, that is one of them.
I don't know if it follows this trope though or not. I
don't know. I'd say it does. But not in the stereotypical with something like Pearl or Midsummer, that the unhinged baddie trope.
People tend to put Possession under this trope. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know, those definitely.
She is unhinged.
Those definitely came far, far before this was an annoying trope. So I don't know.
That's why I was saying there are movies that I do love that have this trope, but they aren't the new quote unquote unhinged
they're not
baddie.
The new version of
it.
I feel like the modern unhinged.
Yeah, the modern unhinged. I'm kind of annoyed.
It's overdone, and I don't like it. But fucking Infinity Pool, like that's the whole point of that movie.
Ugh, yeah. Jamesy. Here's just her shooting the gun and go. I do like that part. No, just that scene of her shooting the gun and screaming. I do find that funny, but her character is fucking annoying in Infinity Pool.
I just thought that was awful.
And I just didn't care for that movie. That movie was weird.
I liked other aspects of it. It was honestly like the worst part of it was that it turned out to be an unhinged Patty movie.
Honestly, when watching that movie, I was a little surprised because the whole she is trying to turn the bus around, it kind of, I feel like that's where it kind of dips down because everything beforehand, I was kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. And then that scene happens and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
I don't know. Do we want to go D?
D?
I don't know, because there's some older movies where this isn't bad.
Okay, so you brought it up a little. Interesting.
Yeah, it's just like the modern take is
more so. Yeah, no, I agree.
I hate it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I guess D.
And it's easy. It's it's a cop out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah, D is fine. That's cool with me.
All right, what do we have next?
The next one we have is jump scares.
Jump scares, different type of trope, but I don't know. I guess there's more than meets the eye with this also because a lot of people argue there are good and bad jump scares, and I lean towards disagreeing with that, but there's something to it, I guess.
I will say there's only one good jump scare that I love, and that's in Exorcist 3.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That's the only one and the best one. And that's the only one I will ever say of a jump scare that I truly love. Other than that, fuck them all.
I feel like even when there is a jump scare that is quote unquote earned, I'm still kind of annoyed that they didn't do something else.
I feel like when you come around watching Exorcist 3, you're going to hate that jump scare. I just know it. And you're going to be like, this is the one you like, Lauren?
Yeah, we'll see.
I can already see it now. But it's good. There's a reason, because,
Well, I think there's an argument that they can be earned.
Yeah.
But
no,
I just don't know if I
If you've seen any?
If I personally like agree that
Oh.
I've seen a jump scare where I thought, yeah, that was great. You know?
I mean, that's what I was going to say. There are very.
I mean, think of something like Barbarian where you're really scared. At least I was super, like, it was effective on me when I think we've probably discussed it before when they're just going back further and like the tension keeps rising because like you're like, fuck, anything could be in these halls. This is fucking creepy. And,
Oh, yeah, in the beginning
and
when they're
then-
checking out
and then
downstairs.
as soon as they decide to actually do the jump scare, show the monster, it's kind of downhill from there. I mean, most people agree that it's downhill from there and like that it's still a good movie, but like I think it's like the most effective before you start seeing the monster a lot, and once you do, of course, there's a lot more jump scares and a lot less tension.
Yeah, no, I'm in that camp because I mean, I sadly didn't get to see it in theaters, but yeah, when I did watch it here actually, when you guys were gone, um dude, I was like freaking out. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." Yeah, so no, I definitely agree with that. And I mean, hell, even after they show the titty big mommy milker monster, I mean, I still love Barbarian. I'm still in for the ride, but I do wish that they held out a little bit more longer until they showed the monster. Or I'm also in the camp of we never see the monster at all. Like, I feel like it could have been even more effective if we got POV shots from the characters seeing the monster. We see their face and we see their reaction of seeing the monster, being like, "Yo, like what the fuck?" But we never see the monster itself. I feel like that would have been even a more interesting way as well. But yeah, nonetheless,
Yeah, or when you can just catch
I still
like
enjoy the movie. Yeah.
when you can just catch a quick glimpse of it.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, they did
that's
kind of
scary
do
too.
that though in the beginning of they do kind of do that, and then that's when we get the full shot of the monster. But there's like this one scene in the movie where we do kind of see partially of the monster, but
yeah. I brought that up to say I feel like if there is such a thing as an earned jump scare, then that movie must like be close to it because there's a lot of tension and a lot of build up,
yeah.
and the jump scare for me still doesn't work, and it's kind of all downhill from there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's better before the jump scare for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jump scare is the blowing the load.
Seem to be blowing a lot of
I
loads.
forget who put it that way, but that's what it is.
That wasn't your original thought.
No, I would credit who said that. I think it's kind of well known. Some YouTuber made a video on jump scares and compared it to blowing your load soon, like early.
Wait, I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't recall the name right now.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It might be another D because like there's a case to make for them, but I don't think it's a strong case.
Yeah.
They're mostly terrible. D. That's what I say. What about you?
I'm kind of because I hate jump scares, but also at the same time I really fuck with them. Not saying that because I like them or anything. It's just I don't know. I don't know. They're so embedded within horror, so I can't really be a full on hater.
I mean, Yeah, I'm a lot more picky with the horror movies I like. You'll find the ones that I like mostly don't have jump scares.
Well, yeah, I mean the ones that I do too don't really have jump scares either. If I'm thinking, yeah, yeah, no.
Well, where do you want to put it? I
Where
mean,
do you have
yeah,
it,
I don't
D?
know. That's what I would say. I mean, when I think of
I mean,
jump
I wasn't
scares,
thinking anything
it's
higher,
like the
but
movie I just saw, like Imaginary. Like it's The Conjuring. Like all these that type of horror that's just like boring.
honestly,
People talking and then jump scare. Like
call me crazy. People can call, yeah, yeah, call me crazy. I don't care, but I feel like the Conjuring movies, especially the fucking Nun, they ruined the worst of the worst of jump scares. That's my opinion.
well,
I feel like they ruined, like, because beforehand I never really had a problem with jump scares. Like, yeah, I'd be like, ugh, whatever kind of thing. But I think the Conjuring
it's the whole
movies,
genre.
they definitely invented even more of jump scares and just embedded the bad of the bad, the worst of the worst of jump scares.
Yeah,
Especially The Nun, where that movie fucking had a jump scare every fucking 5 seconds. I mean, I think I've talked about it on here too, but that was like one of the worst movie experiences and one of the worst fucking movies I ever saw, like ever. And yeah, you want to see a bad movie with jump scares? Watch The Nun, or but please don't, because it's so bad. But
it's just the whole genre is to have boring characters talk about nothing
yeah,
and then have a stupid jump scare.
and then you hear the screeching music, and then the jump scare
It's the
happens,
same
or
formula.
it's very silent and then
Yeah.
the jump scare happens. So
You
either
always
or.
know it's gonna happen, and then it happens.
Also, another movie that's like Lights Out. That movie fucking is jump scare after jump scare. That movie's fucking annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go D,
I'm actually fine with D.
and that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Okay, next on our list we have running and falling.
Lol.
You know, when you're
It's
watching
hard
a
to-
movie and you see that character running and then they fall, and then it takes them forever to get the fuck up, and you're
Yeah.
just yelling at the screen like, "Bitch, get the fuck up! He's right behind you!"
I mean, it's a big eye roller, but there's something charming about it.
You know, it's something charming when a bitch falls.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where if it's done nowadays, it's a big eye roll. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, why? But like when you see it in an '80s movie, it's charming.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And it's not like it was more like realistic or less realistic now versus then.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, that could happen now or then. Like it could happen, but it's just like that's been done. Like find another way for your character to fuck up and die. Because yeah.
Also, yeah, or like, yeah, that happens with the character, and then they run, they fall, they can't get up, and then they get killed. And it's like, you had it. You had it. You just had to fall. You were so close of
Yeah,
escaping.
like find a more creative way for them to fuck up.
Yeah.
Like they were doing that in the 80s. It's been 40 years. Find a new way.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say this trope annoys me, but it's like not
No.
annoying in a bad way, kind of annoying in a fun way. Just being like, bitch, go. Like, come on, hurry up. Snap,
Yeah,
get
I
to
mean,
it.
it usually precedes a kill scene, which is usually fun.
Yeah.
I think it's B, and we don't even have a B yet.
You want to go V?
Yeah, I think it's one of the better ones, but I don't think it's like
Yeah, not the worst of
It's
the
still a
worst.
little annoying, and like I
Yeah.
said, if it's in a modern movie, it's just like I roll my eyes. Like, ugh, whatever.
I'm fine with B. You want to put it in B?
Yeah,
E.
running and falling.
Yep. Okay, so next one we have is no cell service. Y-
Very annoying.
Yep, you're trying to
Very
call
annoying.
911. Guess what? Bam, bam. No bars. You
Yeah.
can't call. You
Um,
fucked.
in movies where it actually makes sense, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know like I don't know if like The Descent did that, but they could have, and I wouldn't have been annoyed. I don't remember if it did. Uh,
Oh, wait, I think they did.
or for like Frozen. I mean, that's a bad movie,
Oh, that
but
movie sucks.
like it
So
would
does the
it would
Disney
make
one,
sense
too.
to me. I think that's a movie where they could have done that, but instead, like they lose the phone or something, like they drop it or some
Yeah.
dumb shit, or it runs out of battery. I can't remember, but like, yeah, it depends how plausible it is, and even then, like, I don't know if you need to have a scene dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's already like plausible that you wouldn't have cell service.
I feel like that trope's kind of dumb because, like, you have no cell service. Like, you should have unlimited data, but okay. It's.
Oh yeah, I guess it depends when we're talking
yeah, that's,
about.
yeah, depending on when the movie is, obviously, but, um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say this. Yeah, I'm kind of like with this trope. This trope doesn't really annoy me. I mean, it kind of does, but not like it doesn't get me mad. I'm just like, girl, are you for real? Or boy, are you for real?
I go see.
Yeah. You want C?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool
Right
with me.
there with unconvinced authority.
Yeah, so the next one I have is the car won't start.
Uh yeah,
Yeah, this one's
that one's kind of the same line as no cell service, but more annoying because I don't know. Sometimes they'll show like that the car was fucked with, and then it's like, well, okay, it's still like annoying, but at least you like gave an in-universe explanation.
yeah.
But a lot of the time, it's just they turn the key and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, convenient. Like
Like, oh, of
there's
course.
actually no reason for why. It's just like, I guess it's just this car is a bad car,
Yep.
and that's super annoying. I don't know. I think it's a C or a D. It's like it's as bad as the cell phone one, if not worse. So, yeah.
I say D,
Okay. D.
unless you wanted to put it in C.
No, it's fine.
Next one I have is all in their head.
It's F. I mean,
Oh, that quick, huh?
well, to me, that's the same as a dream.
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
All strange. You got things strangely confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one is annoying
Well,
for sure.
I guess it depends, though. Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends. Like, if you're talking about like a surrealist kind of movie, I guess this technically has been done very well.
Mhm.
Uh, because you're seeing like the lens of someone's insanity instead of just like it was all a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it is definitely different. I think I jumped the gun there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was like, "Oh, already?"
Well,
Cuz
so I don't know, like something like Jacob's Ladder.
mhm.
Great
One of my
movie.
favorites. Yeah.
Um arguably like the no. I would say there's a lot of good horror movies that have done this, but there's definitely a lot of bad movies that have tried to do it also.
Yeah.
Uh and it's bad.
It's shitty.
Yeah, like when it's done well or like when it was more unique, then it was great. But it's become, I feel like, pretty common that this is like used and not used in a very satisfying way.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. My mind's a little fried, so I can't think of examples really of good or bad.
Um
But I know that there's good movies that I love that do this, and bad movies
The
that I
Shining.
don't love that try to do this.
The Shining.
You can make an argument for that, yeah.
I feel like that the Shining, I mean, the ending is up into interpretation, and I kind of always fell in the category of it all being, well, some other things, but for the but one is like it was in his head kind of thing.
I I don't know if that's my interpretation, but it could be. I'm just trying to think of another movie,
Well, you named
but
Jacob's Ladder, and that one plays on the trope good too.
yeah, like that one's like life. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't need to go into
Yeah,
details. We
if you
do a lot of spoiling on here.
highly recommend on watching it if you haven't seen it though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some super obvious examples, but I'm just gonna say that I don't know. There was that like that movie In the Mouth of Madness was like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty good.
yeah, Mouth and Madness is good. It's one of my favorites.
I don't know. I know that there's a good amount that are very well done. That I don't think it's like a cop out because to visually depict metaphorically like someone's mental state
Hmm.
is usually really cool, at least visually, and uh it can connect with you
Yeah,
uh in unique ways. I think that uh s- something that is more surreal and abstract can connect with you in a different way. That wouldn't be attainable through more straightforward, realistic storytelling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Part of that is just how I'm interpreting it. Like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of bad examples of this trope too. But I would say, it's definitely an open door to good content, whether or not it's used correctly.
I agree with that.
But I don't know. Like, it's kind of a loaded one. B?
Ooh. You want to put it in B?
I don't know. Where do you want to put it?
I'm actually fine with putting it in B because I don't find this trope to be bad. And I don't know, I like the trope that's all in their head. I don't, because it, to me personally, I think it was all a dream. I feel like that is the one that's kind of like whatever, but yeah, going back to what you were saying,
dream
like
is way worse.
Yeah,
but
all in their head.
All in your head is kind of something that can really happen to you, and it is scary.
Psychosis, like schizophrenia, like all of that. Like the mental illness, all that real shit, and like doing that in a horror landscape or psychological or any those things is like such a interesting and like fascinating thing to bring onto screen and make that into like a scary ass shit. I don't know. For me, I think it's just for me, I find it to be really entertaining and fun to like have that play out.
But yeah, still all that said, a lot of movies do it terribly.
Yeah.
And at this point it is like becoming a bit tired, in my opinion too. Like, we've had a lot of great movies that take this premise, but it is becoming more
tedious.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it too much at this point, I think.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
Unless like a movie comes along and is like blows our minds all over again, but like they're becoming fewer and far between.
What's a more recent one
that
did this trope?
I mean, I could tell you if I had time to think about it, but I couldn't even think of like any movies right now.
Understandable.
So yeah, but I know there are a lot. If
I'm trying to think too, but I'm kind of in the same.
If I had time to prepare it, I could have a lot written down. But yeah, I think you could say that about I don't know. You could definitely make an argument for that about probably most of David Lynch's movies.
Yeah.
Even though he would just tell you no.
No.
But it's definitely a valid interpretation.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
All right. What else?
Next, we have the hero is the killer.
It's annoying because it's usually done as a twist.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you have the twist ending as a trope on there. Just like as an overall trope, because if you don't, then yeah, I would say the fact that this is used as a twist a lot is quite annoying.
I guess I didn't write that twist ending.
Twist ending is a huge trope, I would say, but
well, I kind of feel like that's kind of like a not a niche thing, but a broad trope, because
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not just in
most
horror.
of some of these are twist endings, like the all in my head, or it was all a dream.
Yeah, so
like
twist
I feel like
ending would encompass all of it. But yeah, so this is just it's another one of those things. This one's pretty bad because I I can't think of any movie that has successfully done this,
Yeah, me neither.
where it's like reframe the whole movie and you're actually like, wow, damn, that was genius.
That was amazing.
It's always just like, oh, fuck off.
That was funny.
It's just like always dumb.
Yeah.
It feels like a cop out.
Well, yeah, because it is a cop out. Yeah, it's really, really dumb and really redundant when they do this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this person that we thought was like, I guess, quote unquote, on our side. Oh, you fucking backstabber! You were the fucking killer. It's like, well,
Yeah.
frick you.
I don't know.
I kind of find this one like I wouldn't say for me personally, I wouldn't say this one's a bad trope, but yeah, I find this one to be annoying. And this one does get me pissed off for the fact because I find this trope to be boring. I find this one to be a boring one. It's like, what? Like, you're like, what? Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like, oh, okay. You're the
I don't know.
killer? Like, could have been someone more interesting.
Yeah. So it's an annoying one.
Yeah. Where do you feel like putting it?
I don't know. It's like C or D.
I'm fine with D.
Sure. Hero equals killer.
Next one we have is person of color dies first.
I don't know.
I will say the person of color dying in a horror movie first, it's racially motivated. Fight me.
Well, if you want to say that, then we have to put it in F. That's a discussion killer, Lauren.
Oops. Well,
Because I was going to say it depends when you ask. It was quite a beloved trope for whatever reason.
I never really loved it because I'm just like I've always found it weird. Like, and
I mean,
hell,
they would
there's
make
even
fun of it in Scary Movie, which
Well,
is
yeah.
obviously made by like black people who thought that was
well, yeah,
something funny.
Yeah, Sean and Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they mention it in both the Scary Movie
Like
and
how the
Scary
black
Movie
guy
too.
always dies first.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's
there's
always
even
been a
recently that movie like The Blackening. I didn't see it, but the whole tagline was like, "We can't all die first." Like,
Yeah.
it's clearly like something of a meme.
Well, yeah, it is.
It's kind of appreciated in a weird way. But I mean, yeah, it's a weird thing that happened.
Well, no, well, yeah, it is, and it's really weird because, like, hell, not even just like, yeah, I mean, not even just black people, but like, hell, even like, Mexican people or whatever, like, they never are the ones in the final. I guess, like, they're not like the ones towards the end. It's either they die in the beginning or they kind of die in the middle. And they never make it. Yeah, they never make it to the end, and it's always really weird. The white people always have to survive. Like, interesting. Says a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually think that it's very cool, but just like the way that it caught on,
Yeah.
it became embraced instead of like.
Well, yeah, because the
I feel
people
like
of color
if it-
kind of embraced it and took it on and made it.
Yeah, that's what I
Or
mean.
to,
I feel
to
like
make it memed on.
if
Yeah.
it happened now, like if people notice the pattern now, it probably wouldn't be as embraced. It would probably be like, ooh, these old movies are problematic. And, maybe that is what people say now, and I just haven't seen it yet. But
No.
I mean, but yeah, from what I've seen, it's a weirdly accepted trope
Well, yeah.
that people seem to kind of like.
Well, yeah. Now, I know. Like, well, yeah, because
But like,
it's something to joke about now, like what we're doing right now, kind of being like, yeah, like that
people
was.
like to
yeah.
joke about it. I don't know if
There aren't actual people like that are upset that like watching back those movies and
it's something
whatever.
that
But
I think when you make a horror movie now, they do try to avoid doing that because they know that it's a weird thing that became a trope.
well, yeah, it was definitely a weird thing. It's like, well, damn, okay. And it's another funny thing too that I've seen, like kind of like as I've gotten older and stuff, and you know, like there's this one person that I follow on TikTok, and he's black, and he's even like talked about like this type of stuff. It's like he made a joke one time in this video I was watching of him, and he was like saying, yeah, and you know what's funny, like you watch these movies and yeah, the black person always dies first. He's like, that's a little crazy because like in reality the us black people wouldn't even be there in the first place. So you like yeah, people have kind of just taken it, just like just memed on it because yeah, like looking back at those movies or just the trope in general, like how it became like such a popular thing of like, yeah, the person of color always dying or just whatever, like it was always very such like a weird thing that became such like normalized within the horror genre. And it's pretty funny like looking back on it, it's like, yo, like what the fuck.
I think there's a lot of love for calling it out.
Yeah, I know it. There definitely is, because it's like why. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
it can be an F.
oh, you want to put it in F?
I mean,
you hate it that much?
I don't have a strong opinion about it, but it's definitely like it would be weird to say, yeah, that's a good one.
Put it in S.
I mean, yeah, it's just that's my whole take on it. It's a weird thing that happened. Yeah, it probably is like racially motivated. But like
well, yeah.
clearly it became embraced by the people that it was affecting. So
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But
If you want to put it in F, that's fine.
yeah, I mean it's a laughable.
Yeah, it's a laughable.
Trope,
Yeah,
I
it's a
guess.
funny one. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one I have is library research. Yeah, we're in the middle of the movie, and the people are finally getting this stuff together. You know where they go to? They go to the library to do some research to get more info, or just trying to look up whatever the thing is in the movie is. We get a whole montage of them opening up windows and going on this fake ass Google shit to look up the info.
Yeah.
Or they use Bing.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said it bothered me that much. I don't. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, same. That's what I feel about it too.
This doesn't actively bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me either. I just always find it so funny. It's like we get this whole montage, and then they're going on like searching up this thing, and they're always using like the like fake ass Google because I mean the budget for the movie couldn't actually use Google, so they come up with like I forget what movie. But there is this one movie where, we get this montage and you see them go on the internet and fucking the thing that they're using as quote unquote Google, it just says on the it's like kind of framed as Google, and it just says their internet.
All right.
It's so funny.
Way
I
to
don't know. I
go.
just always find that so funny. Like they come up with the weirdest things or just something funny as like what they think is Google, and it's just I don't know. It always makes me chuckle. The
Yeah.
internet.
It's definitely not the worst. It's just
Yeah.
it's maybe eye roll worthy.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I gotta have this fucking scene in here, I guess.
So where do you want to place it?
I don't know. Maybe like I don't know, it's like B or C. It's inoffensive, but it's just like whatever.
You can put it in C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Library research.
Next one I have is dropping keys/weapon.
Well, this is kind of like running and falling,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of like running and falling.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel about
It
it too.
depends. Like if you ever were actually running up to a door trying to escape something, and you had a key in your hand, and you were trying to quickly get it in, it's definitely believable that you would fuck up and drop it. I don't,
Yeah.
or just that you would struggle getting the key to work. Like it's more believable than just like, oh, my car just won't start.
Mhm.
uh but it's like it is definitely it's you're gonna roll your eyes at it.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but like it's literally like the same category as running and falling to me, which we put in B, because it's again, if it's like in an older movie, it kind of is charming, and then if it's in a newer movie, it's like annoying because it's like find a new way to kill your character. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I have pretty much the same take on it.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm fine with putting it in bead. Doesn't bother me. I
So
just think it's funny. Yeah, it's like yeah. And again, annoying but not in a bad way. Just like, "Oh my god, like hurry up and fucking pick up the keys, bitch, and open the door."
there you go.
Yeah. Next we have is Child's Imaginary Friend. You just saw this movie the other day.
Yeah. um. Well, so obviously, The Shining has this,
Yep.
but the kid is like the least intriguing part of the movie, despite what Stephen King thinks. uh, yeah, and then there's the one I just fucking saw. There's
Which sounded like shit from when you guys were telling me about it. Just sounded so funny.
yeah. There's I know there's like yeah, it always turns out to be like, oh, there actually is something, and it's a malevolent force or some shit. It sucks. It sucks.
No, it does. It's like, oh,
The
Yeah.
Shining is the exception, and it doesn't like base the whole fucking premise around that. So like,
One.
it almost like gets away with it because it's such a small part of it.
Yeah. One that's kind of coming to my mind is the Conjuring. I think like one of the daughters starts talking to like one of the, I guess, one of the ghosts, and like is having like a tea party with them. And that's the thing. These quote unquote imaginary friends, they always, these ghosts, whatever, they're always going for the younger kid, which makes sense because they're the ones that are the most gullible to fall for their tricks.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah. Well, you see the girl talking to them, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's always just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's actually a ghost.
Yeah. Or spirit, entity, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. Where'd you want to rank this one?
I don't know, D.
Oh, really?
Why?
I was kind of thinking F.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, this one is like such a dumb trope.
I said D because it's in The Shining and that's a 10
Okay,
that's
yeah.
a 10 out of 10 movie. But
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
I feel like
but
The Shining
again,
is the exception.
Again,
though.
it just gets away with it.
Yeah. The Shining is the exception, though, because that's like a great fucking movie, so.
It is the exception.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Does that keep it from being an F? I think like I've been trying to approach F as like there's no good example of it.
I guess D then. Yeah, no, D's fine then. Yeah, yeah. The Shining is the best one that does it well, obviously. Unless there's like another movie, but I can't think of it at the moment.
I don't know. I wasn't prepared to have examples of movies for every trope.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That wasn't a mandatory thing, anyways. Next is bullied gets revenge.
Like someone who was bullied gets
Yeah, someone like
revenge.
Carrie. Yeah, the person who got bullied gets revenge.
I don't know. I feel like people like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you don't.
People like an underdog story.
Well, I know you didn't care.
For Carrie?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
Or
Carrie.
the trope, like
I thought you didn't like either, but I could be wrong though. I just assumed you didn't like either.
I'm not crazy about the trope.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah.
Or Carrie. But
Yeah.
but like I get why people like it.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't seen it done
Well.
in a spectacular way.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends how it depends like what somebody endured and how they're going about getting revenge, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh
To me, I find. I mean, yeah. I guess this is where we could differ, but I think Carrie's the one to do it best. At least this trope in particular. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like Carrie does it best. I mean, there are other movies that take this trope and that I do like and enjoy, but I think Carrie, for me personally, Carrie's the one that kind of does this trope pretty well.
I'm trying to think of other movies that do it. I mean, I know there's a lot. It's usually like a more dumb movie that will do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was kind of thinking it,
yeah,
because each of those kids get bullied. I mean, and they don't really take the revenge out on the bully itself, but
yeah.
takes revenge on Pennywise.
The entity.
Yeah, the turtle.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I had an example, I think, but I can't remember.
Ah, shit. I'm sorry. I talked.
It's all good. Well, fucking Stephen King loves his tropes.
Yeah, he does. It was all that cocaine.
Oh boy. Uh, no, I mean I know that there are definitely like standouts for this type of movie, but like I know all these tropes well enough that I recognize them as tropes.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have any that come to mind immediately.
Fair.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's like again, it's kind of like the underdog getting their comeuppance.
Yep.
People like that.
Where do you want to place it?
I don't know. What do you think?
I was thinking C.
C?
Yeah.
My mind went B because people
Oh,
like it,
oh, B. Okay, then
but
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
fine.
know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I'm cool with B.
All right.
Um. Okay, next one is that person who randomly shows up.
Well, like Captain Plot Device.
Yeah. Like that could be like the random person that pops up at the end of the movie or whatever, or just like whether that be in the middle where shit's already gotten real, and then we see this random person like come by and we're like, "Oh fuck, like what?"
You talking like someone who shows up to give a like an exposition dump?
No. Just the
No,
person that just shows up.
I don't know what that means.
What do you mean? You don't know what that means?
What kind of what are they? What's their role in the movie?
It's whatever. It's like again that person that randomly shows up, which just and it's always yeah, it's right in the middle where shit's already gotten real, and we see this person come by, and we have not seen them at all in the movie. They weren't introduced or anything. They are introduced in
Yeah,
this
then
scene. Yeah.
they usually give some exposition or like
Well, yeah. Okay. So yeah.
or
Sorry.
they're
Yeah.
used as a plot device
Yeah. Sorry. That's my
to
fault.
say like
Yeah. That's exactly
like
it.
the guy in Until Dawn, the flamethrower guy who shows up and tells you about the things on the mountain that I won't spoil, I guess. Even though we spoil almost everything here. Yeah, he's just, as Markiplier put it, Captain Plot Device.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in Imaginary that we just saw, the
grandma.
the grandma that just shows up, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, from the way that you guys were
She's
describing
hilarious.
it. Yeah.
It's very annoying, but usually pretty amusing.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle with it.
Like if a movie does it, you know you're watching a bad movie, but like it can be enjoyable. It can be funny, like the grandma.
Like the grandma.
It's
Yeah.
just like it's usually so absurd that it just came out of nowhere, and so it's like ironically funny, but it's definitely like a bad writing habit,
Hmm.
bad trope.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you can really do well. You would have to
Yeah.
have a pretty good excuse for why they showed up and said some bullshit that changed everything.
Hmm. Yeah. Where'd you want to place it?
I don't know, like see, it doesn't like actively bother me, but it's not good.
Yeah, C is fine then. Yeah, I'm cool with that. It being placed there.
I'll just call it Captain Plot Device.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I always find that trope to I don't know if I don't love it and I don't hate it, so I'm kind of like in the middle with it, but I just always find it I just find it funny.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know, but I just yeah.
It's pretty
Um
funny.
no, it is. The next one I have is gratuitous.
Like gratuitous violence or
Yeah, it could be either violence or essay. More so on the essay or like yeah, or rape, whatever. Just gratuitous scenes, yeah. Yeah, I guess
I
violence,
don't know.
rape, essay, all that.
Uh, yeah, I mean it's a tough one because uh, I'd say for in most cases it's very subjective what is gratuitous and what is something that whoever the filmmaker uh wanted in there for whatever reason. I don't know. Uh I'm not one of these people that thinks you can't depict whatever you want to depict as long as you're not hurting real people. So I personally don't like subscribe to any idea that you can't put something in a movie just that is simulated. Uh I think sometimes it can be just fun to watch something that's just super fucked up. So for me, it's not a problem, but a lot of people definitely don't like it.
Yeah. This one in
Yeah, this is
particular,
opposite for me, where there's been a lot that I don't like, but other people do.
yeah.
This one I'm fine with, but a lot of people don't like it.
I thought it'd be interesting to put it on here because it kind of gives, an interesting discussion talking about this one in particular because there are um I don't know. I've seen many different sides of this trope in particular. And I don't know, for me, I'm kind of in the middle with it because I'm also, yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I'm not for one to like, oh, you can't show like certain shit in movies and stuff, whatever. I'm not on that camp, but I'm also on the camp where these types of things don't bother me. I guess more so in the vein like violence, kills, all of that, whatever. That doesn't actually really bother me. But I guess for me, where it kind of draws the line, where I kind of get like, is if like there's like a movie with like continuous, obviously, rape scenes or like essay where and it just goes on for like a long period of time, I feel like that kind of gets redundant and just whatever. And I don't know. I used to be okay with those types of scenes, but now it just makes me feel gross, and obviously I can't watch those scenes in movies. I have to like skip forward because I just can't.
I mean, yeah, I think that's valid, but I don't think that. I think
I don't think
trying to stop it from being in movies is a bridge too far.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Just avoid it if you're sensitive to it. I think because like then on the other hand, there's the movie Irreversible is literally
that's the one.
It's literally like what you just described, and that's like a great movie.
No, I love that movie, but
and like the intent with that scene being as drawn out as it is like in my opinion it is effective.
Well, I wasn't really talking about that movie.
Yeah, I don't find it redundant. I find it horrific. But for some people, it's too horrific to even like simulate to like sit through the scene. So like, don't.
Yeah.
I guess.
For me, when I was explaining my side, I wasn't really talking about that movie in particular. I mean, that's obviously that movie could be in the conversation of what I was saying, but the movie I was thinking of was actually I Spit on Your Grave, because that was one movie that I still love that movie and stuff, but there are a lot of like gratuitous rape scenes in that movie, and it goes on for quite or hell, even Last House on the Left. That's also another movie that has a long rape scene.
I need to see I Spit on Your Grave, but my assumption is that I would be fine with it because I think from what I understand, it's a revenge movie, and clearly those scenes are supposed to upset you.
Yeah.
And get you on this girl's side.
Yeah.
So you can, it tries to put you in her mindset and want to see her get her revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think there's something wrong with a movie like that. It's just if you can't watch it, then don't. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and also there's
no reason to like try and stop other people from watching or stop people from making movies like it, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess like also like another one, it's a Suburban Film. I know that movie.
Suburban Film,
however you fucking say it. Yeah, that movie. I know that movie also has some rape scenes as well.
I mean, there's clearly artistic intent to it. That is, in most people's opinion, overshadowed by the lengths that it goes to. Which, like, yeah, in my opinion, it's less effective because it's too over the top. But that's just like my opinion. The intent, I do think, is important. And I think the movie should be allowed to exist as it is, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't think like, because I have seen online where like if you like those types of movies, like, yeah, if you like those types of movies with those scenes or anything, then like you're a fucked up person, or you should be on a watch list or anything like that. I disagree, because I've seen a lot of like fucked up shit and all that, and I'm sane. Like, I'm not a weirdo or anything like that. With those who like really enjoy those types of movies or anything, like I don't get off to that type of shit or anything like that. Like, I'm just a person who who like the mundane and all of that. But I think for me, with this, yeah, like with gratuitous rape scenes or essay or anything like that. It's just I can't. I used to be okay with it, but now that I'm older and like whatever, I can't. It doesn't really sit right with me, and I think why it doesn't really sit well with like other people too is because like these depictions of women in movies and stuff, they're the ones that are always getting brutalized or raped or essayed or anything like that, and it's depiction of like I guess you could say what happens in the real world where that type of shit is happening in real life too, and it's like it's a lot to deal with. And because we have like, yeah, in a movie where this woman whatever, and then she just gets brutally fucking raped, and like the scene is like, I'm not talking about irreplaceable because that's like, I mean, that is one example, but there are multiple movies where there's just a scene, we're seeing that scene play out, and it's just like 12 minutes of that scene. It's like we get it from like the first minute of it. Let's move on. I don't know. I just feel like I see the debate of like those types of things and whatever, but I'm not on the side of where it should like get rid of, because yeah, most times those certain movies where a scene like that plays out, it's for a reason, or you have something like a suburban film, whatever, how you fucking pronounce it. It goes over the top and it gets like redundant, and it's not for the purpose of like moving the movie forward or anything like that. So that's why I'm kind of like in the middle, because I see both sides of the argument, but I'm definitely not one of the side of where like, yeah, you like those types of movies, you should like go kill yourself, and the FBI should be coming at your door in 5 4 3 2 1 kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had something to say, but I forgot again.
I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, I don't see why it has to go any further than like, I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. Okay, like, steer clear. But you don't need to like start judging other people about it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because I've seen some fucked up movies and stuff, and obviously I've only seen those types of movies once, and yeah, there's a lot of like gratuitous shit that happens in that movie, but I would never watch it again as like something like with Chucky that I've seen multiple times. But I don't think there's anything wrong like with like another example like August Underground.
Yeah.
Like, those types, like, so everyone thinks it's a real snuff film, but it's not. It's a fake snuff film. It was like, it's not real.
Yeah.
Because if you watch real snuff films, then yeah, then you're definitely gonna be on a motherfucking watch list or anything. Hell, I've even seen like back when the movie used to like
that's
be
where
on
there's
YouTube,
a difference.
like Faces of Death.
That's where there's
like,
a difference,
yeah.
because real people are getting hurt.
Yeah.
But we're talking about simulated.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with simulated.
Yeah, no, I don't have I mean, like I said, I'm in the middle with it, but yeah, nothing wrong with simulated because it's not real. It's it's fake, it's whatever. But if you're watching like real shit of that, then
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly it is mostly women.
It's always women.
No.
For the most part.
There's a famous example of Pulp Fiction.
Well,
it's a man.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
it's played for comedy.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And in a lot of older movies, if it is a guy, it's played for comedy.
Yeah, it's always played as a joke.
Yeah.
Well, hell, I mean, it's not a movie, but 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
The Broom.
I mean,
you're gonna say something fucked up. I know it. I saw that smirk.
What do you mean?
No, say what you're gonna say, because I think I say it. I saw that smirk when I said that.
I mean, yeah, you can't take that seriously, I feel like.
Oh, you can't?
No. And
That scene was fucked up, though. Honestly.
The scene?
Okay, you try to watch that scene, that episode now, they cut it off. But when you were watching it live, well, not live, but when those episodes came out, they full on showed the scene where the fact that I remember these characters' names, but Montgomery gets the broom and you see the shot of him sticking up the broom up his ass, and then after he throws the broom and you see the blood on it. Now if you go back, they cut that scene out.
Yeah, I watched it the day it came out.
Yeah.
Because I was dumb and I was younger and I liked the first season.
Well, so did I, yeah.
But no, that whole show's trash.
No, yes, it is.
But no, I feel like if you let it get under your skin, then you're just giving them legitimacy.
Mm-hmm.
You're legitimizing their bullshit, their shock approach to
shock value. Yeah.
See, the problem with them is that they tote around like we're an important show, and they show the suicide message at the beginning of the episodes, and they have the cast talk about if you're struggling.
Well,
with
yeah, they had to do that because
it really leads into we're more than a show. We're this mental health operation, and meanwhile it breaks all the guidelines of what you're supposed to, how you're supposed to talk about mental health. And yeah, so having that scene in there for shock value, I feel like taking it seriously is just you can't take them seriously. You can't legitimize what they're trying to do there.
You're trying to get canceled. No, just kidding. No, no. I was gonna.
It's hilarious that they thought that was
they thought they did something.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, what is it? Because the first two seasons didn't really have the cast in the beginning of oh yeah, da 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 da. They didn't start doing that until after season 2 because of how. Yeah, or hell, even after both season 1 and 2 got criticized for season 2 with the broom scene, and then obviously Clay with putting down the gun kind of thing, which was really fucking stupid because, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And also the suicide scene with Hannah in season 1, it got fucking criticized. Both of those seasons got criticized for the amount of shock value that they were going for. And dude, it really fucked up. And then they're and it's so funny because they had PAs on set and telling them and going over what they could and couldn't do. And they're like, haha, fuck you. We're gonna do what we want. And even though they're this is not how to go about it, but okay, what are you doing?
Let's depict the character just walking up and talking to the school shooter.
And being nah, man, put the gun down.
Just convincing him to not.
Yeah. So bad.
Just don't. Just don't.
Oh, jeez.
That's exactly what you should do, too, if you ever encounter a school shooter.
Yeah, just go up to... So that's the lesson.
That's a joke. It's
a real thing, Just go up to the school shooter and just tell him don't. And then you put your hand on the gun and just put it down, being like, you're better than this.
Hooray. Anyway.
Sorry, to go back on track.
Yeah. This doesn't bother me at all, and in some cases it's enjoyable. I mean, for the violence aspect,
You almost caught
I
yourself
wouldn't
right there.
say the essay side of it. It's not like enjoyable to watch, but it definitely can be effective. It can also be very ineffective, but like
I feel like that's where
it's case by case. Like
I feel like that's where the gratuitous essay or rape scenes, I feel like that's where it plays on those two, where it can be effective or ineffective. There's like no in between. At least for me. That's where it kind of rides the line. The violence all the way. Violence don't bother me, but yeah.
see, the problem is like when a movie says how fucked up it is, I want to see it. And then I'm usually disappointed when it's not as fucked up as...
Well, yeah, no, I'm in the same boat because I want that too.
So I can't claim that I don't like that. Like I get curious. I want to see the most fucked up movie that I can, as long as no one's really getting hurt.
Yeah, same. No, I'm in the same boat.
So like I would say I like it. I would put it higher, but then like yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because on the same to group them together like that, like yeah, I don't. It's like usually you don't enjoy watching a rape scene.
Well, no, you shouldn't, and if you do, kill yourself.
If it's I think I have to bleep you. That's great. But
what's for that?
Yeah,
I've said some fucked up more shit on this pod than that.
You just can't say that on YouTube.
Oh, jeez.
But
they've gone PC.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm not saying you can enjoy a scene like that, but you can appreciate one that is effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you can put it somewhere.
Me?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've gone in depth on how I feel about it.
I don't know. C?
Sure. I'd go like A, but yeah.
Oh, you wanted to go A?
Yeah, like I want to see movies that are supposed to be fucked up. But, I mean, it's just it's loaded because you put like the other stuff in there.
Well, yeah, that goes hand in hand.
And then yeah, I still say when it's effective, then I don't think it's a bad thing. But
I guess
if it comes completely from like a triggered kind of viewpoint, then it's always bad. But
yeah,
that's not like my disposition about it, I guess. So yeah, whatever, we'll go see.
Or B.
If you want.
Yeah, I guess B. B's better, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, which one do I have next? The last one we have is Indian Burial Ground.
Surprised you didn't put Colts on here.
Oh shit, I forgot to do that.
Well, if you want to do that, then
yeah, we could.
F. Yeah. It's just the worst. I hate it. No, it's probably like D because there have been decent movies around cults, but it's just so tired.
No, I hate it. I honestly do not like.
Yeah, I mean, I hate it too, but there have been good movies that.
But I don't. But see, no, I know that there have been good movies, but I still do not like it.
Sure.
I don't like the trope at all. The whole cult bullshit is not for me. That's why I don't like Outlast 2 that much, because that's what that whole fucking game is.
Well,
And
yeah, but you love
I don't
Hereditary.
I don't care for it. See, that is probably like the only movie that I enjoy. That honestly does it best. And you know what? That whole and there's more to it.
I still think it's the worst part of that movie.
Is the cult?
Yeah,
And
it's the
honestly,
revelation that it's
well,
a
yeah. I
fucking
mean,
another cult movie.
well, yeah. No, I don't actually. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you on that. But that's like towards the end of the fucking movie. Even though the whole cult shit is in like the very beginning of like the movie and stuff. There's actually, I don't know if it's still on YouTube or not, but there's like this cool breakdown of the like this person kind of like reviewing the movie and kind of going over like the whole cult shit from like the very beginning of the movie and then like up until the end. And there's like all these cool little things that you have to watch that movie like multiple times in order to pick up like the little things in the background and shit like that, because there's so many things in the background that you see that you wouldn't even like notice like on your first watch, or hell, even second watch. Like Hereditary is a movie that you have to rewatch like not constantly, but a couple of times to notice a whole bunch of different shit, which is actually really cool. But anyways, yeah, no. Yeah, I guess for me, Hereditary really is the only movie that I like that have to deal with the cult stuff. But I definitely not disagree. I definitely agree with you that it's also kind of like the weakest part, because yeah. And that's like, yeah, it's not its strong suit, that's for sure. Because that's not the reason why I love the movie all that much.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking about cults now?
Well, I mentioned the Indian burial ground, but then you mentioned cults.
There's
But
whatever cults.
yeah.
There's been more than one good movie with cults.
What's the other?
There's
Well, I know there's few, but
I mean, outside of movies, Silent Hill is a cult story. Like
yeah.
1 and 3 are about the cult.
Mm-hmm.
2 is the one that isn't. I mean, yeah, 1 and 3 and 4 even, but 2 is the one that isn't.
Yeah, no, 2 is its own.
And obviously we quite like Silent Hill.
We both do, yep.
By extension, the Silent Hill movie, which I don't really like, but you do. So, that's a kind of cult.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's incredibly common. Maybe Suspiria. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
I know
I guess.
the remake.
Well, yeah, the remake.
Absolutely had
Yeah.
a cult, but I can't even remember the original if it did.
No, the original didn't.
I don't know. I need to see it.
I don't know. It's been a while
That
since
would
I've
be a
seen the
pretty
original.
big thing to change if there was no cult and now there's a cult. But I saw it once and it was years ago and I don't remember. So.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think enough good movies have had it that I can't go F, but I would go D.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cults. And yeah, the last one, Indian Burial Ground.
Yeah, Indian Burial Ground.
Didn't Poltergeist do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was real too. They used real bones and all that in the movie.
Pet Cemetery.
Yep. There's quite a few other movies, but those are, I'd say, like the main ones.
Those are the ones that come to my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like an explanation that I love to hear in a movie. Those aren't like bad movies that I named.
Mm-hmm. I think Poltergeist does it.
They're both pretty
better.
good, I guess. Yeah. But I don't. I wouldn't say the Indian Burial Ground is like what makes the movies work well.
Well, no, it doesn't.
It's not necessarily the like a weak point, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm pretty indifferent to it. If it was used as much as some of these other things, then I would probably dislike it more.
Yeah.
But it's less common
Yeah, that's
than
true.
like
Yeah.
a cult, for example.
The cult is always fucking everywhere, man. It's like, go away.
I don't know, maybe C, just kind of inoffensive, but not like really cool.
With the Indian Burial Ground.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I always found that trope to be like so. Aside from like, I guess, yeah, Poltergeist or, Pet Cemetery. I guess for in my head, like those are the exception. But I guess like movies that kind of like more recent or a little bit older. I don't know. It's kind of a weird trope. It's like, it doesn't offend me or anything, but I just always kind of found it like, that's odd. Like, okay. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. It's like not offensive, but not inoffensive. Yeah.
Well, it's like C.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
All right.
Hell yeah.
E.
Yeah.
We did it.
Woo.
Another tier list done. Another episode done.
Hell yeah.
All right, it's late. We went a good while on that, so we'll call it there.
Hell yeah.
All right. Yeah. Who knows what we're doing next and when we're doing it?
Have no
But we'll be
idea.
back.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then.
Yeah, I hope
Oh,
y'all.
wait.
Yeah, you didn't. I was gonna
Should
say.
I recap our list?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, oh, you're not gonna recap.
Yeah, I usually do. I'm tired though.
It's
Okay. We have one S tier, and that's the final girl. And one A tier, and that's the sex equals death.
a
The B tier, we had running and falling, all in your head, dropping keys or your weapon, bullied and then getting revenge, and gratuitousness. C tier, unconvinced authority, no self-service, library research, captain plot device, Indian burial ground. D tier, killer doesn't die, unhinged baddie, jump scares, car won't start, the hero is the killer, imaginary friend, and cults. And the F tier, all a dream, and person of color dies first.
A.
Yeah,
I think that was a really good list.
them some shitty tropes.
Yep.
All right, yeah, that's gonna be it now.
Now it's it.
So then, yeah, we'll see ya soon in another one.
Yep. Catch y'all on the next one. Hope y'all enjoyed.
Bye bye.
See you later. Bye.